had turned the lock. Now, the bolt was thrown. It simply completed its journey. And then, it vanished.
Thank you for joining us on WarPixel. This has been a tactical simulation of a potential modern warfare scenario. 14 seconds. The time it takes for an empire's confidence to be shattered.
The machine saw the truth, but it didn't understand the lie. The perfect predator doesn't need stealth technology. It just needs to become part of the chaos. An electronic fortress. A mathematical certainty of security. Or so they thought. Checkmate.
In the silent, ongoing Iran-Israel war, battles are not always fought with explosions.
The port of Haifa, a strategic jewel for Israel. Protecting it is not a priority, it is an absolute necessity. To ensure its safety, Israel deploys the Trident formation, an electronic fortress. 3 coastal nodes, designated Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie, work in perfect unison. Their overlapping fields of fire are designed to eliminate any potential blind spots. High-altitude threats are detected hundreds of kilometers out. Low-altitude intruders meet the same fate. The system is relentless. Even swarm tactics are rendered ineffective against its processing power. Confidence in the Trident is absolute. For the operators, it's just another Tuesday. The system's perfection created a dangerous byproduct: complacency. But 1,500 kilometers away, in a planning room in Tehran, complacency was not on the agenda. They weren't looking for a way to break the wall. They were looking for a key to its door.
Their answer wasn't in advanced electronics or hypersonic speeds. It was in physics.
The creation of the Wave Shadow drone had begun. No GPS. No communications array. Its brain was purely mechanical. This is the core of its deception, a mechanical jammer designed to scatter radar waves, not reflect them. Deployed into the Mediterranean, its mission was one of infinite patience.
This is the Iran Stealth Wave drone. The perfect predator doesn't need stealth technology. It just needs to become part of the chaos.
Its gyroscopic brain allowed it to perfectly mimic the ocean's rhythm. To the Trident's powerful sensors, it was just noise, another wave in a turbulent sea.
The mechanical jammer didn't block the signal, it corrupted it, making the return echo indistinguishable from sea clutter.
For 18 hours, it drifted, inching closer to its designated coordinate. While inside the control room, the night shift was getting bored. And then, it arrived. The precise point in space where its presence would matter most. The Wave Shadow activated its primary function, not to hide, but to create a specific, targeted disruption. And that's when it happened. A flicker in the matrix. A ghost in the machine.
There. A 3-millisecond delay. The AI defense grid error was logged. The machine saw the truth, but it didn't understand the lie.
To the AI, it was a statistical improbability, a rogue wave. It failed to see the intent. It failed to see the creation of a temporary Trident formation blind spot.
A human operator, trusting the machine's diagnosis, dismissed the single most important piece of data of the entire night. The trap was set. The invitation had been accepted.
The order was given. Phase 2. Miles away, a different kind of predator awoke.
Not a strategic weapon, but a tactical one. A key designed for a very specific lock. Its target was not a city, not a base. Its target was a coordinate in empty space. A 14-second flight path.
Launch.
The key had turned the lock. Now, the bolt was thrown.
The clock was ticking. "14 seconds to cross the line between the seen and the unseen." "12 seconds. Still outside Trident's maximum range." 9 seconds. It enters the grid's theoretical detection zone, but it's aimed at the shadow. 7 seconds. The radar waves are corrupted. To the system, there is nothing there.
4 seconds. Oblivion.
2 seconds. It's about to cross the threshold. The Israel coastal radar breach was successful. 14 seconds. The time it takes for an empire's confidence to be shattered. Checkmate.
The unthinkable had happened. An unidentified missile was inside the wire.
It was too late for interception. Too late for countermeasures.
All they could do was watch. But the missile didn't strike. It didn't aim for the port or for the city. It simply completed its journey. And then it vanished.
The target was never a building. It was never a ship. The target was the idea of invincibility itself.
A message had been sent, not with brute force, but with brilliant, terrifying simplicity. In modern warfare, a flaw in tactics is more dangerous than a hole in defense.
So let's break down this tactical gambit. How did a low-tech drone defeat a multi-billion-dollar AI?
The key was exploiting the AI's core logic. It was programmed to find electronic threats, not physical anomalies that mimic nature.
The wave shadow didn't lie to the system. It simply told a truth so convincing the AI couldn't see the deception behind it.
This AI defense grid error highlights the new frontier of warfare, exploiting the gap between data collection and true comprehension.
Could this have been prevented? A single moment of human curiosity overriding the machine's conclusion might have changed everything.
But in a system designed for automated perfection, human intuition can sometimes be seen as a flaw. The aftermath of such a breach would be a frantic overhaul of defensive protocols. The AI would learn. The Trident formation blind spot would be patched. But the psychological damage was done. Iran had proven a point. The fortress was not impregnable. A seed of doubt was planted. In the information war that accompanies every physical conflict, this single event would be a massive strategic victory.
This strategy is, in essence, a physical version of a digital exploit. It doesn't destroy the system from the outside, it tricks it from the inside.
This isn't just about Israel. A proven method to bypass high-tech defenses could be exported to other theaters of the ongoing Iran-Israel war. Imagine the implications. Small, deniable, low-cost drones deployed from civilian vessels, creating temporary corridors for attack. From a military doctrine perspective, this shifts the focus from countering high-speed missiles to detecting ultra-low-speed, passive objects. It's a needle in a haystack problem, exponentially complicated. The ocean itself becomes a potential enemy.
The immediate response, a software patch. The AI would be retrained to flag any persistent, localized anomaly, no matter how natural it seems.
But this creates a new problem: false positives. A system that's too sensitive becomes unreliable.
This highlights the brutal economics of asymmetric warfare. It's cheaper to ask a question than to answer it.
The ultimate irony? The billion-dollar defense grid might now need to be supplemented by the oldest detection system of all, the human eye.
The Israel coastal radar breach doesn't negate Israel's layered defense, but it proves that even the outermost layer is not infallible.
Air superiority and rapid response remain Israel's ultimate trump card. But you can't shoot what you can't see.
The incident would send ripples through global military planning, especially for nations relying heavily on technological supremacy. Could a similar tactic be used against a U.S. carrier strike group? The question alone is enough to cause sleepless nights for naval strategists.
The countermove: more data. Satellite-based systems cross-referencing with coastal radar could potentially spot the anomaly.
But this creates a new arms race, not in firepower, but in processing power and intelligent algorithms.
The lesson of the wave shadow is a return to the fundamentals of predation. Blend in, be patient, and strike at the moment of perceived safety.
For Iran, the operation achieved its primary goal without firing a shot in anger. It demonstrated capability and created strategic ambiguity. For Israel, the breach would trigger a fierce internal debate. How much faith can be placed in automated systems? Where does the human factor fit in? This event becomes a textbook case study in AI warfare, focusing on the danger of systems optimized for efficiency over paranoia. It proves that in the 21st century, a hack doesn't always involve code. Sometimes it involves physics and a deep understanding of your enemy's assumptions. The Trident formation breach wasn't a battle. It was a performance, a piece of psychological theater played out on a stage of radar waves. It showed that even with the most powerful pieces on the board, a single, well-placed pawn can change the entire game. For the masterminds behind it, this was not an end, but a beginning, a proof of concept for future, more audacious plans. And for their opponents, it was a harsh but valuable lesson, a moment of weakness that would forge a stronger, more vigilant defense. This silent skirmish off the coast of Haifa is a microcosm of the future of conflict. A perpetual war, the wave shadow, its mission complete, likely rests at the bottom of the sea. A ghost that delivered its message and returned to the depths.
The breach is closed. The fortress is reinforced. But the memory of its vulnerability remains.
The next battle will not begin with a bang, but with a mistake.
Thank you for joining us on WarPixel. This has been a tactical simulation of a potential modern warfare scenario.